Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to another exciting episode of Jacob Walks Over a Bridge. I'm Jacob. I'm currently walking over a bridge, and I am once again delighted to be joined by a good, long-time dear friend, Brandon, which still is a little weird to say.
Shabbat Shalom, Jacob.
Shabbat Shalom, Brandon.
You call me Man Show.
Yeah?
You earned it.
I've known you long enough. I was there when the name first was coined.
Grandfathered in. There's no one at camp that knows me as Man Show anymore.
Yeah, you're just Brandon Theater.
It's only Devin Goldberg. He calls on the walkie, it says Man Show drama, and they're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm sure that is, it's a confusing thing, especially because I don't know how many people watched the Man Show when it was on. Two teenage guys.
I have no association with the Man Show itself.
No, probably for the best.
Yeah.
We are walking to Williamsburg Bridge. Have you ever walked? You've never walked over this bridge?
I've never walked over any bridge, Albrecht. Here's
Really?
the first.
Wow.
I think I walked over the London Bridge.
You've never even done the Brooklyn Bridge?
Never done the Brooklyn Bridge. Never done any New York City bridges. So, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, it is my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
I don't love that it's uphill though.
This is actually one of the more gradual. You see, it starts to level off a little bit.
I see it leveling off.
Yeah, then they got to get us up to over the water level at some point.
So what's new, Albrecht? What's exciting?
Not much. Just living life. Wake up, go to work, sleep. That's really just all there is to do these days. That's life as an adult.
Yeah, I was looking at when we recorded last, and it was only a little over a year ago. It feels like much, much longer.
Was it May?
It was May of last year, yeah.
You gotta hold the mic closer to you, otherwise no one's gonna hear you.
Okay. Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, well, a lot has, the world is, my life might be boring, but the world at large is a very exciting place.
It's true. Here, let me try putting this in the other ear, see if that works.
Is that comfortable?
Kinda. Nope, it's not gonna stay in.
Yeah, they're not great headphones. I don't know. Apple, that's one of the reasons why I won't go for the AirPods, aside from I don't need a $200 pair of tiny little things that are going to get lost.
Take a rest.
All right,
Do
yeah.
some chit chat.
Yeah, we've been going a breakneck pace.
Yeah, no, since the last time I saw you. I felt like at that time, I thought I was done with camp, but life had other plans.
Oh no, this is your 7th summer working, 6th?
6th, yeah. I had it took some time. Last time I saw you, I was still for New York Life. I was selling life insurance, and it just wasn't making me happy. So I sat down and thought, what would make me happy right now?
Was anyone happy selling life insurance?
Apparently my friend Andrew is, who I might be seeing today. He went to law school for 3 years, and now instead of being a lawyer, he's selling life insurance.
I don't know. I mean,
my license expires in a month. He's like, come join us. I'm like, I don't know about that.
My only legal experience was, 4 years ago now, I did jury duty. And, the AC in that building was great. I don't know.
As for reference, this bridge is freaking shaking right now.
Well, we are leaning up against the railing, so we are at the mercy of any tremor.
But yeah, no. So after I saw you last, I thought about it, and I kept seeing on Facebook that camp was looking for people that are understaffed. So I sent an email to Cheryl. I said, hey, do you need anyone? And she was like, yes, please, dear God, yes. So I came back. I was hired to do main side drama, which a little out of my comfort zone. I was a little nervous. But then none of the Brits could come, so they had a Brit who was supposed to do teen side, and I got to do teen side drama again. It was a good time. Last summer was a great summer. It really was amazing.
And you all got to bond.
Oh no, I almost dropped my water. I need this.
Drop the water. No, everyone probably got super close because you had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to leave last summer. It was bizarre. I lost all sense of reality. By the end, I was like, this is all I know. This is all I've ever known. This is my existence. I live here now.
it's certainly, I mean, camping usually has that effect on people, but even more so when you're totally cut off from the outside world.
I've been feeling that way. I mean, it's nice to get. I'm working there again this summer, and we're allowed to leave on our days off now, so it's been nice to get out. I got out in the city. I saw my buddy John last night. Some of the craziest shit happened. I came in, like, I took the train in, and there was an Israeli girl, Ariel, who works at campus on the train going from Cold Spring to New York. We parted ways, didn't even talk about what our plans were, and then 10:30 at night, I get on the 6th train to go meet up with Albrecht, and who's on the train at the exact same time in the exact same train car but Ariel. It's crazy. Like, people say it's a small world, but that shit is crazy to me.
I mean, that happens to me in the city all the time. You know, I'll randomly run into someone who.
But like, you know people in the city. I was literally the only person I could have run into last night.
I've had instances where people who I don't like, or this must have been like 5 years ago now. There was a guy who I knew from school, Jonah, who just had graduated. He's from DC. You know, he graduated from Emory, and then
we can keep walking.
Oh yeah. And then I was just walking back to the subway after getting some ice cream, and then all of a sudden just ran into him. And that even happened to me in Philly too, when I was there last month, when the guy who I knew lived there just happened to run into him as I was going to find ice cream. I guess that's the moral of the story. I just had to go get ice cream somewhere.
I have a ton of small world stories. It was a couple months ago. Jonas Black decided to ride the ferry all day for his birthday. And who gets on the ferry but Johnny Eilenberg?
Yeah, that would have been fun doing a ferry, but I think a bridge walk is also a good birthday activity.
Yeah, since last we spoke, we've gotten the gang together a couple times.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We all met up a year ago. We right in this area, actually, right by the Williamsburg Bridge. We tried to go to Katz's, no dice.
That feels like it was more than a year ago.
It was like barely over a year ago. It was like last June.
It's crazy. I've been back to that Knish place a lot.
Yeah, good connections. And even then, I still didn't know I was working for camp, so we were talking about, like, oh yeah, like, I remember, I have memories. But yeah, I'm back in it now. We just did a production of Hello Dolly. It went really well. I got to lead all Camp Nestling after. It was the best moment of my life. I've been waiting to do it since I was 10.
So what'd you call it, like the camp theme song?
Yeah, sorry, I'm speaking very, I mean, I don't know who listens to this. I feel like it's a very specific audience, but...
I mean, that's just me in general asking, because I mean, I don't know how...
I call it Nestle. Yeah, it's like the camp theme, the camp chant. It's kind of, according to Way, I mean, we're kind of like to call it eat together, chant together.
I mean, it's a religious camp that's bound to happen.
And then we got the squad together a couple months ago. Went to a baseball game.
That was fun.
Went to the Renegades.
Renegades
caught a foul
baseball.
ball and I gave it to a little kid, which I regret. I should have kept it.
Oh, I'm young, sorry.
There's no shade on this bridge.
It gets, I was gonna say it gets better. Well, I mean, these beams overhead don't do that much.
I'm gonna have to pull the sweat rag out.
No, no shame in that. Yeah, no, bridges aren't known for their shade, unfortunately. At least not, well...
So, today Albrecht turns 29.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Albrecht? How do you feel? Yeah, that makes sense. A year away from 30.
I mean, no offense to the olds who may be listening to this, but yeah, that does seem like a big, nice, round number to be afraid of.
Give us your musings on 28.
28 was an interesting year. I tweeted at this, and I think you saw it. Was something that is nice to know as I get older, is that there likely is to be no shortage of new things happening. I'll be saying Shechianu a lot. If I said Shechianu every time I did something new. But when the year started, there were a lot of things I had never experienced. I had never been to Las Vegas. I had never had someone leave poop in front of my door.
I'm sorry, that was terrible.
No, I mean, she was terrible. Yeah, I mean, now with that was almost a year ago, the poop gate. But that's what I've decided to call it. But with a year in hindsight, while I wasn't appreciative of how it went down, in the long term, that probably helped my living situation.
Yeah, Albert's got a nice place. He very graciously let me stay with him last night.
So I am a
Slept on
generous
the
host.
futon. I fell off at one point.
That was not my fault.
Let's take a break at the garbage can.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. No, it's because now that I left that place, they're probably going to raise my rent by a lot, and I would have been entering a volatile housing market. Still volatile now, but I think there's a better chance at the current place that I'll be able to renew at a more reasonable rate.
It's a pretty crazy time. My parents just sold their house, so that's where I was living since I came back from LA. And I'm glad to be out of there. Love you, parents, but I think we all need some space. They're in Florida now. They're retired.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, as of today, I'm basically homeless. Left the house, went up to camp, got a storage unit with all my stuff. Have nowhere to go after I leave.
Yeah, they don't let you sleep in a storage unit.
If I really had to. But no, I could always sleep in my car. That's a joke, people. Me and my friend Joey, who I met last year at camp, we're gonna get a place again in Central Jersey somewhere, hopefully quickly. Let me tell you all a little bit about my life since we last spoke. So I stopped doing life insurance, worked at camp. After camp, my friend Joey was driving out to Colorado, and I was like, yeah, what if I come with? And Joey's like, yeah, sure, why not? So we road tripped out to Colorado. Joey had the cat, and the only place to put the cat litter was on the floor of the passenger seat, so I rode across the country with my feet in cat litter. True story. We saw the world's largest mailbox. We saw the State Lakes Arch for about 20 minutes. We got really good barbecue in Kansas City. Went to Colorado and was stoned as shit for 5 days straight. Saw the elephants at the zoo. Came back a couple weeks later, went to Hawaii. Good time.
Did you ever get that lost tattoo you were talking about?
No. One day I'll get the Dharma symbol with FCC, but there's a new edition. I was hanging out with Marcel and Cyril one day, and Cyril was like, you have to get the tattoo, but you also have to get Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes peeing on it. I was like, yeah, I do need that.
That's I don't know if I'd always associate those two together.
I was like, either my shoes are melting or I stepped in gum.
Oh no.
Yeah. But so now I work. I'm off for the summer, but I work for a company that does bar mitzvah entertainment. There's a train passing by, so let's walk for a sec. This gum is not helping me walk. It's weighing me down.
You could probably scrape it off. All right. Long story short, the gum issue was not resolved.
We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah. In addition to all,
I blame Albrecht. Get your shit together. This is your podcast.
Yeah. That's part of the appeal, you know. I mean, you should see. We've got the
magic of live podcasting.
Yeah, we got the iPhone with the Lightning to is it 1.5 millimeter headphone jack, or is it 3.5? Yeah, the Lightning to headphone jack adapter with a headphone splitter, and then 2 pairs of questionable earbuds.
Anyway, to recap what you missed, talk about my company a little bit. Great company, love working there. I feel like I have a good future there. It's super nice. He gave me the summer off, which was dope. And then we talked a little bit about the pandemic. I said, I felt like the world was ending, and I kind of put some plans on hold. And, things are getting back to normal, but we'll always have the memories and the trauma.
I mean, like you said, it did feel like the world was ending at times. I was, especially like in mid-March 2020, I was thinking like, okay, if we have to go, I started thinking about because my sister was also in the city. Thinking like, wait, if we had to evacuate the city, this is how we would do it.
I definitely made some stupid decisions at that point in my life.
I read, like 2 years earlier, there was a post-apocalyptic novel where, it was after a pandemic, and everyone was pretty much wiped out. So I was basing some decisions off of what happened in that book. Probably not the best to base your life off.
No, you shouldn't base your life decisions off of the book.
I mean, don't tell that to Scientologists, but...
Talking to you, people who read, eat, pray, love.
And
the Bible.
What were some of the... did you panic buy things?
Yeah, I am still in debt from the money I spent during the pandemic.
What did you panic buy?
I can't even. I can't do it on the podcast. I'll tell you in private.
Oh, wow.
I spent a lot of money on an app on my phone for stupid reasons.
Oh, I look forward to hearing about that offline.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. I'll tell the story on the podcast. It's kind of a crazy story.
Yeah.
So,
you ever want to forget this?
Yeah.
Or maybe you do want to forget it. I don't know.
So, right before the pandemic, I was bored one day, and I saw an app. They have like apps on your phone where you can work a real claw machine and get real prizes. And I've always been really good at claw machines. And so like one weekend I started playing this game, but it's kind of expensive. I spent maybe like $100 on it. And I was like, that's too much. I don't want to spend any more money. Like, I'm done. So I deleted the app. And then Super Bowl happened, and I won a box pool. We got like $500.
Wow.
Worst thing that ever happened to me. Because then I re-downloaded the app. I'm like, oh, I have another $100 to spend. And I realized I was really good at the app. And you could like trade in your prizes for like more coins on the app. And so like I rigged the system where I was like winning so much that I could trade in to get free coins. But this is after I already spent a fair amount of money on it. And I was just getting a lot of crap I didn't need. And at one point, I shit you not, I was the best player in the world on this app. And there was like Facebook groups dedicated to the app. And people didn't think I was a real person. They thought I was a machine. They were like, how does he win all the time? How is he playing all the time? He has to be an employee. This can't be real. And eventually I had to like come forward to the group and be like, I am a real human being. This is I. And then eventually I spent too much money. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I have to bring you to Dave & Buster's someday.
Yeah. I was at Dave & Buster's like 2 weeks ago. It's the first time I've ever told that story publicly.
Oh, well, I appreciate you coming out and being honest with me about your struggles.
It was a weird time in my life.
I mean, that was a weird time for everyone.
It was all I was doing all day. I was playing this app. I had nothing else to do. It was March 2020.
Yeah, no, I was just... March 2020 was...
Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, no, you're good. March 2020 was probably one of the longest months I've ever experienced. Only half because of COVID.
Oh, why?
The other half was because of work. I was on a launch brand for my company, and the drug that I was assigned to received FDA approval like February 29th, right? So that meant for like the next 2 weeks, all hands on deck, everything needed to be turned around yesterday. So I was working some days until 4 in the morning, and coming in again at like 11. So I was exhausted then, and then COVID really picked up, and then everything happened. So there was a lot going on in my world then. I panic bought some weird food.
That's like what?
So I remember in particular going out like Thursday or Friday, it was like Friday, March 13th or something like that, right? It was a Friday,
I was supposed to go see the high school production of Guys and Dolls, and you're like, oh, it's canceled for the weekend. Those kids never got from Guys and Dolls.
That's so sad. That's one of my favorite shows too.
I was in it in high school, that's why we're going back 10 years later.
Do they do the same show like every year, every like decade they'll repeat the show?
Same director, so I guess he did it twice.
I mean, that'd be fun. Like the zeros are Guys and Dolls. The ones is Music Man, and then just go.
I love Guys and Dolls. It's a great show. I have a lot of my friends on the other still have these days. The senior year of high school.
Yeah, but no. I remember going out one of those nights because I wasn't going to go out to because Trader Joe's is far away.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware of.
Did you have a lack of toilet paper?
No, actually. So I think I've described here before, but I'll tell you. So, Black Friday 2019, I was going around looking at like what stores have sales, whatnot, online, and Walgreens had like 25% off site-wide. So I bought 2 large packages of toilet paper in 2019. And so I got it all delivered to my office because I didn't trust having anything sent to my apartment. And when everything got there, everyone was laughing at me. It was just like, oh, look at you. You got all this toilet paper on Black Friday instead of getting a TV or something like that. Well, joke was on them because while everyone was busy scratching their bums with a single ply toilet paper, that was all that was left on the shelves. I still have some. I'm still using the toilet paper that I bought in 2019. Oh, yeah, that was at least a 3-4 year supply of toilet paper I got. Maybe I'm just more economical with my toilet paper than other people. No, but the weird food I bought. So I went out to the Morton Williams by me, which Morton Williams, for those not in the know of Manhattan supermarkets, it's not a very good place. You don't want to be stuck having to buy food from Morton Williams, mostly because it's overpriced. It's the same with Gristedes and D'Agostino. Or was it? No, I went to D'Agostino. That was the one I went to. Sorry, I'm mixing up my Manhattan supermarket. They're probably all owned by the same company anyway. It's either like ShopRite or Stop and Shop.
Everything is basically one corporation at this point.
Yeah, we're just living a lie. But I bought. So I remember everyone was panic buying everything. Everyone thought this was gonna last for like 2 weeks, so everyone wanted to stock up for that 2 weeks. So all the pasta was gone except lasagna. Because even in the end of times, no one wants to make lasagna.
That's fair.
I did not buy lasagna, but I did buy lox. There was a lot of lox left because no one.
The train is going by very slowly.
Yeah. Was that the J? Yeah.
It's the J.
Nice. My train. I don't think I've ever taken the J before.
Yeah, the other day, it was my day off. It was right after the show. And I'd made plans to go to the American Dream with a couple friends from camp. And there's supposed to be 4 of us, and 2 of them dropped out beforehand. And the day of, I got up to go to the American Dream. And they broke out Olympics that night. Luckily, I had the day off. 2 years in a row, I won Olympics since I was off.
That is a win for any step.
But so then my friend Jaron was supposed to come, and then they made him work. And if that's not a metaphor for the American Dream, I don't know what is. The American Dream is dead. I went to see Nope. I got really stoned and went to see Nope, and I was the only person in the theater. And I had to sit there like a half hour of horror trailers by myself. It was like all jump scares. It was terrifying. And then I spent the whole time doing like Mystery Science Theater 3000, just like yelling shit at the screen.
I feel that made it more enjoyable.
A little bit, but it was fucking. I don't think I've ever had the experience of being in the movie theater by myself. I've gone to movies like with one other friend, we're the only ones there. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Yeah, like other people bought tickets, but no one showed up.
No, I went to like last July around this time. I went to was it the whatchamacallit, the Black Widow movie.
Nice.
And that was like my first like post-COVID movie. I was off. It was around my birthday, so I took off like a random Tuesday, right, to go, and just me. And I thought at first, like, yes, it's gonna only be me, and then a bunch of old people showed up.
I'm not gonna lie. Some days I kind of just want to hop in the Hudson. I know it's like dirty and gross.
Don't do that. No.
We did that once. Were you there with us when we did that?
I mean, up by Cold Spring.
Yeah, in Cold Spring, jumped in the Hudson in the harbor.
It's probably better in Cold Spring than it is by here.
But what if it'll give me superpowers? It looks so. I know it's disgusting on the inside. I guess it looks so refreshing.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's just because it's the only option.
It's the forbidden drink. What would happen if you drank water from the Hudson?
I would go bring you to the hospital.
Fair. Yeah. When we were 16, we took a day off in Cold Spring. And we all jumped in the Hudson.
I was not there for that.
You weren't there?
No.
It was me.
I think I would have remembered that.
Me, Johnny, Marcel, and Marcel's friend Tim, and I can't remember his other friend's name, but I saw Marcel's other friend, I can't remember her name. I saw her at Marcel's wedding, and she was like, I remember you. When you were 16, you jumped right in the Hudson. I was like, yeah, I did. We went in the morning, and it was gorgeous, and then we went back in later, and it was low tide, and it was disgusting.
Well, yeah, but that's also like 80 miles up, you know. I mean, the Hudson is, to be fair, a lot cleaner than it used to be.
Probably.
I mean, there are whale sightings now. You never used to have whale sightings around here.
That's what happened in the Avengers when everyone disappeared. The whales came back.
Right? Maybe Thanos was onto something.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, but at the same time, there are better ways of going about intergalactic genocide. But yeah, we're
really looking forward to going downhill.
Oh yeah, we're almost there. This should be like we're at the midpoint of the. Yeah, I guess this one goes up for longer than I anticipated. I'm sorry.
It's all good. We're happy to walk the bridge with you on your birthday, bud.
Yeah. We're gonna earn whatever we eat on the other side of the bridge.
Oh yeah. We had some good bagels for breakfast. I'm gonna get myself a good slice. Had some pierogies last night. And New York City food, baby.
Yeah, New York, you can't go wrong with the food. It's a treat. But also going back to food. So back in COVID 2020, so didn't buy anything too crazy from I guess D'Agostino that one time. But then across the street there's a Duane Reade, and that's where the inner snacky in me really came out. I bought rotisserie chicken Pringles.
Ooh.
The guy, like, I was looking at it, and the guy who was next to me was like, "Yeah, man, those are great."
They used to have baked potato Pringles. Those were chef's kiss.
Not March 2020, but later on, I think maybe like June or July, I got Wendy's Baconator Pringles.
True.
Those were, again, it tasted more like the lettuce than anything else, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't want to eat a burger chip and have it remind me of lettuce, right?
They should have seats along the bridge.
Yeah. I think the Brooklyn Bridge has that, but we'd also be swimming in tourists. The nice thing about this bridge is that I don't think we've seen a single tourist, right?
I mean, you never know.
But yeah, it is mostly just people running or biking. But no one's like, take a picture of me on the Williamsburg Bridge, right? I mean, it's an iconic bridge, sure. Like, I think the architecture is beautiful.
Can I go on a tangent because I'm having flashbacks?
I think this podcast is only made up of tangents, if you haven't noticed.
So when I went to Hawaii, we had planned to go on this hike, and my friend, I was like, "How hard is the hike?" He's like, "Oh, like according to the website, like handicapped people do it." I'm like, "I don't know if I believe that." And we got there, and it was like, this is a serious hike. It was like an hour, and the last 20 minutes are just stairs. And it was like a big-ass hike. And I'm like, okay, here's what we're going to do. You guys go on ahead, and I'm going to try my best to make it. If I don't, like, it's all good. So, like, I was taking my time, going slow. There's this old guy who all he does, like in the morning, he runs up and down the mountain. It's like I saw him on the way up, and he's like, okay, you're a quarter of the way there. And then I saw him on his way back down. He's like, you're halfway there. So I'm again on his way up. I saw him like a bunch of times. So I'm like hiking up this mountain, and I listened to a Lost podcast, Down the Hatch. You should listen to a great podcast. They finished rewatching Lost at this point, and now they're ranking all the episodes. They're almost done with that too, though. So like, this is after camp, so I'd fallen behind a couple episodes on the podcast, and over the summer, for the first time, I wrote into the podcast because I had a story about one time I met a Lost cast member. I was going to the movies in LA to see Avengers Infinity War, and I'm at the end of a row, and this guy comes up to me, this older looking guy, and he goes, "Oh, of course I'd be in this row," and he walks past me, and I'm like, wow, was he just being like a dick? And then I realized I was wearing my Dharma Initiative t-shirt, and this guy, Patrick Fischler, played an actor who was literally in the Dharma Initiative. And so I wrote this story to them, and I wrote them a nice email, like, your podcast meant so much to me, like, I love you guys, and I thought they'd read it on air, and then I listened to the episode, and they didn't read it, so I'm, like, hiking up this mountain, I'm halfway up, and I got to, like, they do, like, at the end of the season, they do, like, a feedback show where they respond to emails that they didn't get to, and they go, and here's a story from Brandon. And I'm like halfway up this mountain in Hawaii, in Oahu, where they filmed Lost. I'd just gone on the Lost tour the day before and saw where they filmed. And I started crying halfway up this mountain. It was a beautiful moment. They told my story.
You were crying, really?
I was crying. It was beautiful. I felt so connected to Lost. We had just gone on the Lost tour the day before. And yeah, I had the strength. I finished the hike. Made it to the top of the mountain. That's what it feels like walking the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, I guess when I usually go on the bridge, it feels flatter. I don't know. I guess none of these bridges are really flat.
Dude zipping down on a scooter.
Well, it's nice to know that they separate the pedestrians from the scooters, at least for 3/4 of the bridge.
Let's go to the shade and then take a break. There's like a big shady area.
Sounds good to me. No, we're almost on the Brooklyn side.
We're at the downhill part now, so this is much more enjoyable.
Are you gonna take the subway back to Manhattan?
Yeah, I have to get to Grand Central later, so I'll take the subway.
Well, I mean, there are roads that take you there. Sidewalks.
Yeah, if we're talking about food, I'll talk about fucking how terrible the food at camp is for the summer.
I mean, to be fair,
It's always been bad,
Yeah.
but I've finally hit my breaking point. Like, it tastes fake. Like, one day they had quesadillas, and it's like, how do you fuck up a quesadilla? And I guess it didn't taste like real food. I'm like, I can't eat this. The pizza's terrible. It's all so bad. I've been eating so much kale, and I hate kale, but it's all there is.
they don't do tuna melts anymore, do they?
They don't. Oh my god. To be fair, there are no fish sticks this summer, so that's a relief.
Too many kids are making gay fish jokes, huh?
Yeah, we're not that far from the end. That's the end down there.
Yeah. Do you want to rest over here?
Yeah, let's take a break in the shade.
Oh, this is nice.
Ooh.
A nice view of the water. See the Brooklyn and the Manhattan Bridge off in the distance.
Gonna get a nice cold water when we get to the other side.
Sounds good. Should be some places to get. Excuse me, I just burped.
What?
I said, excuse me, I just burped. Which is very rude, and I'm sorry for anyone listening to that. I'll edit that out in post. Kidding, I don't edit anything. So here's a question. Are you happy?
Did you guys ask if I'm happy?
Yeah.
The fuck kind of question is that?
It's a pretty basic one.
I'll wait for the train to pass. The train is still passing. We're almost there. I'm really waiting for this.
Looking forward to hearing it.
Am I happy? The short answer is no. Camp's been fun. I felt like last summer at camp, I did for a short period of time. I was genuinely happy. It was a great time. This summer's been stressful and like, oh my god. And like, the thing is, I know that like, I have like a real world thing that I have to deal with finding a place to live, finding a full-time job. So like in the moment, like, are there days where I kind of forget about that? Like, yeah, there are days where I feel happy, but like, it's tough, I haven't had a time in my adult life where I consistently have felt happy. That's something I have to work on. Maybe it's a frame of mind.
I feel like that's rare for anyone to be happy all the time.
It's a tough
I wouldn't
time
trust you if you said I'm happy all the time.
Yeah, it's a tough time in the world. The last couple of years have been hard, but I feel like, I'm changing, forced necessity, I'm changing things up.
I mean, we're all different from where we were 2 years ago.
I think living with my friend Joey will be nice. I like the job I have. So I can see myself being happy. Just got to work on some things. It's an ongoing process.
Yeah, happiness is a process.
I was talking to one of the Brits yesterday who does Mainside drama, and she was saying, like, I asked her if she's come back. She said, I love the summer. I'm graduating this year, so I think next summer I have to focus on my life and career. And I'm like, listen, you have so much time for that. You should come back. Like, take the summer. This might be the last one you have. Like, oh, but I have all these plans. I'm like, you're going to have plans. Everyone has plans. But life happens around your plans. You're not going to end up where you think you're going to end up. It's just how life is.
Ain't that the truth?
It's important to plan things. It's important to try things. It's important to keep doing things. You keep trying and trying and trying. And more importantly, you find out what you don't like until you find something to do. I don't lose hope. I'm not a pessimist. I know that in the end, eventually, it'll work out in some way, shape, or form, but it hasn't happened quite yet. I'm hoping it's coming. I'm hoping it's around the bend. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can win.
I'm generally lucky. Like, things often work out in my favor. In some ways. There are other ways. Yeah, well, there are other ways where things don't always work out in my favor. Or there's mixed things, like I'm happy I have a job. Do I enjoy the job? No, but I have a job. I can afford a lifestyle that has the potential to bring me joy. I could probably afford my own Paramount Plus subscription, but I'm grateful.
No, I'm happy to loan that out to you, Bob.
I'm happy to give you a free reign of my food.
Who would watch Star Trek if not you?
Yeah, I don't know how many people watch Star Trek anymore.
In the span of about a year, I watched 42 seasons of Survivor. In the span of 3 years, I watched 35 seasons of Big Brother and 42 seasons of Survivor. There's currently a season of Big Brother on. It's terrible. It's a terrible season. Yeah. Big Brother Canada 10. Now that was a fucking season of Big Brother.
Big Brother Canada 10?
Yeah, they do Big Brother in Canada, and the last season was just like fucking insane. Like,
you mean they're all not just like super nice to each other the whole time?
Well, that's the thing. What was nice about it was that like it was super competitive, but sometimes when it's competitive, like it gets personal and they like single people out and treat them like shit. The guy who won like played super hard, played a great game, but he was never mean about it. Like, they never took things personally, and like in the end, what happened was it was down to him, this guy Kevin, Josh, and Betty. And what happens is at the end, you have the choice to take one other person with you, and then everyone votes on who's going to win. It's like Survivor. And so Kevin was like the clear winner from the audience perspective. Josh was better at the competitions. And we thought for sure that if Josh won the final competition, he'd take Kevin. Betty was his closest friend. We thought he'd take Betty and win. And then Kevin was so good, he convinced Josh to take him because he said, I'll lose to you. So Josh wins the final competition, cuts his best friend Betty, who's in literal tears, takes Kevin, and loses unanimously. It was an amazing moment of television.
So that's Canada for you.
Yeah. And now we have U.S. Big Brother. That's a fucking garbage fire this summer.
I don't think I've ever watched a full season.
It's fun.
I guess apparently I've got like 70 seasons worth of content at my fingertips. I was thinking about what I wanted to, because I'm like in between shows right now, which is kind of a weird feeling.
You should watch Severance on Apple TV+.
Yeah, my parents have said that it was good.
It's really good. Adam Scott stars. It's about like this company creates a technology where when you're at work, you don't remember your outside life, and when you're in your outside life, you don't remember work. And it's like crazy. Like, it has a lot to say about like capitalism, and the acting's phenomenal. It's a great like mystery box show.
I mean, you can tell that's fiction. Do you know why?
Why?
Because most companies these days expect work to be your life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sad truth,
Yeah, it's probably the best working show on TV right now. Highly recommend.
Yeah, that's definitely. The only problem with that is that I have an Apple TV, and to watch, my parents had the Apple TV subscription, but to watch that, I'd have to. It'd be like some complicated way of like signing in and out.
Apple TV Plus is only $5 a month. It's really cheap.
No, my parents have it.
Yeah.
It's like I could theoretically use theirs, but I think
that's what I'm saying. It's like for a long time, I was like, I don't need it, but it was only $5 a month. So I watched all the things I wanted to watch. I watched that. I watched Ted Lasso, and then when I was done watching those things, I ended the subscription. Yeah. And when it comes back, I'll bring it back up.
I mean, all these. I think they're adding more and more stuff, but like there was. Well, what was? I didn't get to watch Mythic Quest, which looked fun.
I've heard really good things. Yeah.
There's a movie or two that looked. Oh, what was it? Cha-Cha Slide. You'd probably really enjoy that one. Now working with the bar mitzvah company.
Someone was just telling me about that. I think yesterday.
Yeah, it's relevant to your line of work.
Yeah, I was at camp. I was telling one of the groups after drama that I work for this company. And they're like, oh, what company? I was like, Extreme Event Group. And the girl's like, oh my god, they just did my bat mitzvah 2 weeks ago. I also kept going to events being like, I'm going to run into a camper at some point. And then the last event I worked before the summer, ran into a camper.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
There are only so many Jews who do so many events.
Oh my god, that's...
This is Brooklyn. Definitely feels different.
Remind me to apply sunscreen after we get off the bridge.
I will make sure to tell you. This guy. Wrong side of the bridge.
I think we're pretty close to the end here.
Yep, we're on the final descent into Brooklyn.
It's been a fun day, man. So it was nice hanging last night.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always welcome to stay.
Appreciate that. I will definitely pick you up on that.
I enjoy our time together, yeah. Alright, well, this is probably as good a time as any to sign off.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I want to say happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Glad I could come on this adventure with you. Thank you for walking my first bridge with me.
Yeah, you're popped your cherry. You're a bridge cherry.
Albrecht popped my cherry.
On that note, good day and good night.